All right, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're here at the Urbane Lab. This is episode number 2. It is Saturday, December 6th, I believe. Wow. 5th, sorry. We have Justin Dunkel here with us from Paragon Properties. We're here to talk about how their launch of social media is going. We have some pretty exciting things unfolding for them. And I think maybe it's prudent to touch on at least the initial stages of engagement that you're seeing. One thing when we took on this project for Paragon, we'd certainly had varying success rates with engagement with Urbane Apartments. We were a small firm. We didn't know how that would scale. But in Justin's group, they have, 12 properties?
Yep.
12 properties, 4,500 units.
Right.
And so we're ready to launch their blog, we're ready to launch their Ning site, and we've also recruited how many bloggers now?
I think I'm up to 18 confirmed bloggers.
18 bloggers that are residents, right?
Correct.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your interaction with them? Because, by the way, Justin, who runs Paragon, has taken a very, very hands-on approach, and that may well be part of the secret sauce. We're going to see how this all rolls out, but as you listen to him, I want you to kind of think about something in that the apartment community is having a much different type of conversation with their resident / customer than maybe you've ever had before. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I'm trying to think about what we've done since the last time we met. Probably the biggest initiative was putting together communication to a group of kind of predetermined bloggers, and these are just people that our managers or salespeople have identified that they thought might have an interest in doing this.
And the way that we did that, by the way, was Justin and I and Charisse, which is maybe could be Justin's right hand person there. We just went out and visited the sites, talked to the managers, talked to the leasing staff, and just asked them who that they thought their influencers were, which sometimes come wrapped as complainers. But we've always said if they're passionate enough to complain, they probably like you a whole lot better than you think they do.
So sent out I think it was about 60 letters to these people, and again, I'm at a point now where I've heard from probably at least 20 of those people. I've had an email conversation, but more importantly, I've had a telephone conversation with all of these people, and I'm absolutely amazed at their enthusiasm. And and this group ranges, and I think I've got 18 confirmed people right now. So I'm not terribly concerned about having enough content as we move forward with this.
Right.
They're all pretty jazzed up to write. But this ranges from people that currently are actually writing a blog. Of
Sure.
course, I've got a population of probably 6,000 or 7,000 people. There are probably a couple bloggers, that are doing it already in the group. So they're pretty excited about just reposting their content that they've already done into a bigger environment. To a group of people that didn't even have an email address before we started this, but they said, "Well, I like to write, and I'm pretty passionate about some things." I said, "Fine, we'll teach you how to use email and post and everything."
Sure.
There, and some of these maybe even some older residents of ours who says, "Well, I'm going to ask my daughter; she'll help me out on how to do this." So we've got this group of bloggers. So I'm really excited to launch the Paragon blog site.
And something to keep in mind, we have not yet gone out to the whole Paragon community yet.
Correct.
We have only gone out to people that Justin's property managers thought might be involved with this. And to already have 15 to 18 people show interest and are ready to get on board is phenomenal. And so that's pretty exciting. The other thing, we have their Ning site up and operational, which is called the Paragon Patio. And within the first day, I think you had, what, 35 or 40 folks sign up. It just looks like your whole company's pretty jazzed about it.
They are. I started off. I jumped in there, and the first thing I did was sign myself up and start playing around. I thought it was pretty cool. So I sent out some invitations from the patio, and it just spiraled from there. And it's funny because the first night, of course, I'm all jacked up about it too. So I was on my laptop at about 10 o'clock at night, and I looked at who was in there, and there were like 10 people. 10 of our people in there playing around the patio and posting photos, and already some videos have gone up, conversations going on. So it's pretty cool. So I'm excited. Our group is excited about the environment. Obviously the next step is getting the bloggers on there to get them set up, and then launching it into our resident base.
Which we plan on using the Ning site as a sort of a clearinghouse to talk to bloggers. We've already set up a group there for the bloggers, and that'll be kind of how we communicate to them and start to launch. We do have the blog ready to go. We've got, I think, 65 posts populated. We have all those tagged because, one thing I want to just keep putting out there to everyone, the centralized reason we're doing this is to rent more apartments. Any other reason is it's just a hobby, and this isn't a hobby. Our goals are to, increase the web traffic to Paragon Properties by plus 60% from where it's at. We expect to increase physical traffic by 30% and decrease marketing expenses by, I think, around 35% were our goal. So, point of all this is, while we're all getting excited about it, at the end of the day, it's to rent more apartments.
Right.
And I think sometimes people get pretty confused about that.
Well, that's the main objective.
And I saw from apartment chat yesterday, and I think you were on there for a while. People have all these opinions about what's right and what's wrong, and I don't know that there is a right or wrong. Whatever's working, and if something's working for you, you should keep doing more of it.
Right.
And if it's not, try something else.
The traffic, if you look at the traditional marketing sources, the traffic isn't there anymore, or it's not there in the quantity that it was in the past. So you can continue to do the same thing.
It is odd. I don't know where the traffic's going, but I think that you're seeing folks change up all the time. I was online this morning testing out some of your, because I'm anxious to start seeing Paragon Properties show up in Google search results for things like apartments Harrison Township.
Right.
Because they happen to have a fairly high concentration of apartment communities in Harrison Township. And I saw your competitor, Village Green of Lake St. Clair, pop up.
Yeah.
And they have secured a particular URL, Apartments Harrison Township. So I thought that was fairly clever. And
sure.
They did pop up on page 1. But they've only got one page of content up there. It's a single blog site, which is fine.
Yeah.
But, we're going to be populating across all of your blogs, somewhere between 5 to 7 posts a day that are just loaded with key tags, and we expect to push Village Green down quickly.
I think what the biggest difference I see is the fact that the content that we're pushing for is very unique.
It is. It's about the neighborhood.
It's written by unique people versus reposted content. You and I've had this conversation that you can push your SEO rankings up by just having a blog.
Sure.
You're one up there. So.
Well, I think we're about finished here. We're close to our time. Is that right, Heather? Any closing comments?
Just having fun. Just going to try to rent more apartments and
cool.
Knock it out in 2010.
All right, man. We're having fun with it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.